Hi everyone. Today we're going to discuss a key solution area amongst the Azure hero solutions, the machine learning on Azure solution area. I'm Nishant Thakur. I'm a technical product manager for the analytics and AI capabilities at Microsoft. And I'm going to guide you through some of these capabilities and show you what our services are and how do they sit on Azure for our customers to leverage. Now, before we get started at all, I want all of us to get grounded on the opportunity at hand over here. Machine learning represents a massively growing opportunity. The global business value derived from AI in 2022 is slated to reach 3.9 trillion, yes, with a capital T, dollars. And this is not us telling us. This is actually Gartner in its reports telling us that these are figures that we are approaching. Now, the way these figures are split out is also very interesting, and how machine learning plays a role in all of these various solutions like decision support or decision automation or building smarter products or virtual agents, etc. All of these, in some form or the other, leverage machine learning inherently. So now that we understand what the opportunity is, let's understand what our customer landscape is. We did a quick focus group study around some of our existing customers, some of our interested customers, and some customers who are leveraging competitive products. And we asked them very simple questions. Where do you see your company today? Where do you see your top competitors today? And where do you see your company in the near future? And the answers were very promising indeed. When it comes to the analytics capabilities, and we honed on to the advanced analytics and machine learning capabilities as well, most of the customers felt they were midway through their analytics maturity cycles. All of them actually felt that their competitors were further along on that journey than themselves. And then all of them wanted to be in the advanced analytics capabilities, leveraging machine learning to the fullest in the very near future within the next 24 to 36 months. And again, this is not us telling us, this is actual customers telling us that this is where the gap lies. Now, let's talk about where machine learning actually is implemented. If I look at a machine learning solution, it does not discriminate between operations or supply chain or finance or services, sales. It engulfs everything across the board, from marketing through to the workforce optimizations. In particular, I want to draw your attention to three solutions. Product recommendations, which help them optimize their recommendations or optimize the placement of the products so that their customers can pick them up more intelligently. Predictive maintenance, which is potentially a very large ROI from operations management capabilities over here. And then demand forecasting. What if I could go ahead and forecast how do I manage all of my inventory by demand forecasting across all of these? Now, we're not the first ones thinking about these. There are actually customers who are building sophisticated solutions, and a few of them have built it on top of the Azure capabilities. So let me start by showing you those customer scenarios itself. Product recommendation, ASOS. ASOS has created a very sophisticated product recommendation engine, leveraging Azure's capabilities, leveraging data science and machine learning, and then enriching their product catalog and their customer services, etc. When it comes to predictive maintenance, Carnival Cruises is leveraging IoT sensor events and saving 200,000 per ship per year in all of their revenues and targets around their maintenance environments. How do they do this? Well, they're leveraging sensor data, they're doing predictions, and they're being able to understand whenever there's going to be a breakage or a failure, and they preemptively go ahead and service that. Again, demand forecasting, renewables AI, which is in the power generation business. They're leveraging machine learning and AI to maximize their revenue by leveraging demand forecasting capabilities within Azure and its set of services. So now that we understand that there is a market potential, it spans across all use cases, and that there are customers actually doing it, let's try and understand how these customers or organizations are actually transforming their businesses. Now, it's a simple process. It's 3 stages. The first of which is that all of these customers have been very successful in building a unified and usable data pipeline, essentially bringing all of their data together into a data lake architecture so that they get a view of all of that data. Second, leverage all of this data not only for historical analysis, but also for predictive, if not even prescriptive analytics. And that is where the intelligence actually lies. When you're able to leverage the data and use it to go ahead and deliver predictive insights for your businesses, you're adding much more value to your businesses for the future. And you're adding much more value to your customers by preempting their needs and by catering to customized services to them. But that is also just one part of it. Once you have trained these models, for you to be able to deliver this, you need to be able to operationalize these models and distribute these insights at scale so that you're not restricted to one particular segment or one particular aberration of good kind of aspects of delivering these results. Now, when I try to implement, or when we see customers try to implement these aspects within their internal environments, there's a lot to consider. These solutions are not easy to develop. There's a lot of complexity in these solutions. There are a lot of options in the marketplace. It's difficult to choose from. Even within a particular offering, there are so many choices to be made. And then we need to be able to be guiding these customers to make the right decisions, to deliver on the right architectures from the beginning. Then again, there are data silos. Data resides in departmental silos or in compliance-related silos. And all of these data have very incongruent types as well as very different granularity. And the third, it's very difficult to scale these solutions effectively if you go ahead and create your own custom environments, and then that leads to a lot of performance constraints. Now, we as Microsoft understand these pain points inherently because we've developed these systems for ourselves in the past, and we are bringing that knowledge for our customers with the help of all of these Azure solutions that we'll talk about. So, what is it that these silos lead to? It essentially leads to a lot of dissatisfaction amongst customers as well. And all of these problems need to be solved with a solution that you provide to our customers. Let's talk about that now. Microsoft has taken that very inherently and has created a comprehensive solution for data and AI. Across its data and AI solution areas, we've identified solutions where customers are very concentrated. In the data space, we see they need data modernization on premises, and they need hybrid or cloud data modernizations, which we cater via Azure. Again, with their apps being globally distributed, they need a lot of their app data to be globally distributed, and to be able to manage that and to be able to develop upon it is a quality in itself. And with the globally distributed data solution area, we cater to that. But that is just about operational data. How about analytics on top of it? We provide customers capabilities for cloud scale analytics within the data space as well. And we enable them to deal with data, whether it is in batch or real time, or whether they want to do advanced analytics on it. When it comes to the AI space, We look at these solution areas in three buckets. One is around apps and agents. How do they infuse intelligence into their apps? How do they go create bots? That's where this solution area lies. The second solution area is around knowledge mining. Organizations contain a lot of data, a lot of information, but they don't know where to query it from and how to derive or mine for this information. This knowledge mining area actually allows them to bring together all of their data assets and be able to ask questions very intuitively of it. And then the third, and probably the most important in the AI aspect, is the machine learning space, where customers are wanting to design custom solutions, custom AI models, custom deep learning models to cater to specific use cases for their businesses. And we'll talk about that in a lot of details today. So for the rest of the session, I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on the machine learning area specifically, and we'll see how Azure as a platform delivers the most attributed solution towards machine learning. So let's take a quick look at Microsoft's data science and machine learning portfolio to begin with. Microsoft has a very comprehensive solution in place, starting right from sophisticated pre-trained models all the way through to deployment across on-premises, cloud, hybrid, as well as to the IoT edge. Let's go through each of these layers differently, and then we'll try and understand and we'll try and peek under the hood of the machine learning capabilities even deeper. So let's start with the sophisticated pre-trained models. What we mean by these pre-trained models is that Microsoft has had the experience of creating a lot of these models for their own businesses like Xbox and Bing and Office and Windows, and trying to understand a lot of assets and from a lot of aspects from the customer business perspective as well. In turn, what we've been able to do is we've been able to package all of this knowledge and learning that we've had into simple to use services called cognitive services for vision, language, search, and speech for our customers to be able to leverage and embed within their own applications as well. So now our learnings from understanding images from Bing is being delivered to customers to be able to subscribe to and be able to deliver results for their business use cases as well. Our understanding of speech as a result of all the research that we have done for Xbox is now being packaged and being delivered to our customers to be able to embed it into their applications and derive intelligence from that as well. Now, these are a set of services that we offer which are very easy to use and are very developer friendly for your developers to tap into and embed into the applications seamlessly over here. The second thing that I want to talk about is the frameworks. Now, this is very important for the machine learning space because data scientists have very strong affinity to their own comfort zone in terms of the frameworks. And it is very important for a platform to be able to provide that flexibility and breadth of the capabilities that these data scientists require. TensorFlow, PyTorch, Scikit-learn, MXNet, Chainer, Keras are just a few of these frameworks that data scientists today leverage day in and day out to build wonderful, sophisticated solutions. In addition to supporting all of these frameworks, we also are investing very heavily on a standardized format for delivery of these machine learning and deep learning models. We are investing in Onyx alongside our partners, Facebook, which now allows us to create a standardized environment to share these models and for our hardware and OEM partners to deal with these models in a very standardized way, such that they can build devices which are AI enabled. We've got partners like NVIDIA and Qualcomm and Sofon, and all of these partners are building hardware solutions that take into account the standardized format and are able to deliver solution. Now, a platform that is catering to machine learning needs this comprehensiveness and this flexibility to be inherent to its capabilities. The third thing that I want to take a look at is a set of productive services that empower these data scientists and even development teams. Now, when it comes to doing a lot of data science or machine learning on massive amounts of data in scale-out systems and be able to apply sophisticated techniques and be able to bring in your custom comfortable languages and do a lot of custom coding around it, that is where the Spark-based analytics and AI platform in Azure Databricks really shines. Alongside the Azure Machine Learning Service, it provides an end-to-end lifecycle for a data science process, right from ingesting data to prepping data to doing feature optimizations to building models to training models to evaluating models and even going ahead and managing models and being able to deploy these so-called sophisticated models into devices that are important for their businesses or environments for scaling out all of the apps and ecosystem to be able to leverage it. Now that is the end-to-end thought process that is important. And Azure as a platform caters to it from one end of ingestion through to the other end of deployment wherever your model is required. Again, if your data scientists are looking for an easy way to just get started and they have their own tools and they're not dealing with a lot of data, but potentially dealing with smaller amount of sophisticated analysis that they need to do, they might be interested in the machine learning VMs, which we go ahead and create for our customers and make it available for our customers to be able to leverage without having the need to install all the various components that a data science process actually requires. These VMs are pre-populated. They have the latest toolkits, they have the latest tools, they have the latest frameworks, and they have the latest set of connectivity to the underlying infrastructure components in case you want to turn off into scale-out mode as well. Now that's about productive services. Let's take a slightly deeper look at a couple of these services over here because I think it's warranted for us to look at these services very effectively. Azure Databricks is one such service that I want to draw everybody's attention to. Azure Databricks is a fast, easy, and collaborative Spark-based analytics platform. It allows you to do data engineering in batch, stream processing, and machine learning, including deep learning, all of it inside the same environment using the same tools and frameworks that you're aware of and you are building upon. What it also allows you to bring to life is secure environments with Active Directory integration, enterprise-grade SLAs, collaboration, and automatic scaling and termination capabilities, which are inherently built within the service itself, thus making it much easier for our development or data science teams to concentrate on the problem at hand and not worry about the tools and the platform to be able to go ahead and create the solutions on top of. The second service that I want to draw your attention to is, of course, the Azure Machine Learning Service over here. The idea of the machine learning service and its evolution is that we've understood that data scientists want to use tools and frameworks of their choice, but they not necessarily have an environment where they can complete the entire cycle of DevOps for data science. This is where the Azure Machine Learning Service really comes in handy. In addition to providing capabilities to creating models and potentially even training models in their custom environments, Azure Machine Learning Service brings about capabilities for model management, experimentation, run histories, and most importantly, deployment of these models. Azure Machine Learning allows all of these models created irrespective wherever and be able to pull it into the Azure Machine Learning workspace and then be able to manage it and deploy it across Kubernetes service, container instances, and the IoT edge as desired. Now that's the true power of combining something as powerful as Azure Databricks for its Spark capabilities and ease of use and the wonderful notebook experience and secure environment, and Azure Machine Learning Service for its DevOps capabilities as well as the deployment capabilities. Now, the Azure Machine Learning Service also complements the model creation process by bringing in concepts like automated machine learning, which now bring about a good starting point for all of these data science models to start with and then build upon, rather than having to waste a lot of time trying to understand which models would cater to a particular use case the best with the amount of data that you have and with the kind of use cases that you have. All of this process is made much more easier with the Azure Machine Learning Service in its current form. Now, not only is this for machine learning, but it is also for all the deep learning capabilities in the frameworks. You can leverage anything ranging from TensorFlow to the Microsoft CNTK or Cognitive Toolkit, PyTorch or Scikit-learn, Onyx, Caffe, MXNet, Chainer. All of these capabilities are inherently available within these services to make your data science process and make your machine learning pipelines that much more robust, that much more manageable, and that much more accurate for your business use cases. The next thing that I want to talk about is the amazing, powerful infrastructure that is available for us to be able to accelerate deep learning. We talked about Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks is a cluster-based service, which essentially means that it relies on instances of VMs to be able to power all the machine learning that you're doing. It can leverage CPUs or it can leverage GPUs, depending on the use cases that you have, to accelerate all of this machine learning and deep learning process for customer use cases. In addition to these, we also have FPGAs, which is a specialized hardware accelerated deep learning environment where you can bring in specific use cases for vision and anomaly detections, etc. And you can enable them to run in a much faster and optimized way on top of these specialized hardware environments. Now, across the board, all of these capabilities are available on Azure Databricks for CPUs and GPUs, and FPGAs for the specialized capabilities that you require. But the CPUs are also available alongside the GPUs for managed compute if you were going ahead and doing machine learning on top of Azure Machine Learning natively, right? And I wanted to make sure that that distinction is called out over here. Databricks being the leading environment over there, but Azure Machine Learning following through as well in terms of the capabilities if the customers desire a customized environment and are not vested in the Spark ecosystem. What is also important is that Azure Machine Learning Service brings to fore the flexible deployment capabilities. We've talked about this before, and I can't talk enough about this entire capability over here, which is a core differentiator for Microsoft and Azure across all of the other offerings available today. You can train and deploy in the cloud or on-prem. You can deploy them wherever your models are required, be it in the cloud, embedded within your apps, be it on the edge for your IoT device, predictive maintenance capabilities, or be it on-prem if you require it, where your databases reside over there as well. And Azure Machine Learning Service takes care of all of this DevOps and deployment piece very seamlessly in conjunction with models created, trained, evaluated, curated, and bested upon within Azure Databricks. Now, we talked about all of these capabilities at depth, and I hope I was able to give you a good glimpse of the machine learning platform as a whole as well. I want to take some time and talk about the entire data science process on Azure. Now, this might get a little deep, but I want you to stay with me on this one. I want you to understand the importance of the individual services in the overall data science process. Now, what I want to start with first is a recommended architecture to build these end-to-end machine learning solutions. You can ingest data in any form, whether it is real-time data in the streaming form or whether it is batch data that is residing somewhere that you want to pull in. Depending on the type of data, you can leverage Azure Data Factory for batch data or Event Hubs for streaming data and bring it into data lake storage. If it's streaming data, you might want to process it in real time and directly stream it into Azure Databricks. Now, Azure Databricks is the crux of the solution also over here in terms of being able to connect to storage for your native batch data, being able to process real-time streams from your ingestion engines, and being able to leverage these frameworks and libraries for you to allow to do sophisticated analytics and machine learning and deep learning on top of that data, leveraging TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, anything that your data scientists are comfortable with. Once you've been able to do this analysis, now this ingested and enriched data needs to be shown to your business users. You can do that very easily using the native connector to the SQL data warehouse to equip your BI reports to now tap into all of this enriched data. But additionally, you could also deliver it directly to customers in the form of apps by enriching operational databases like Cosmos DB and SQL DB, which are the backend databases for such apps. What is also interesting is that a lot of times these models that are created need to be deployed in an environment such that they can be tapped into in a very scalable way. Azure Kubernetes service allows us a very low-cost environment for us to be able to do that. And Azure Machine Learning Service takes care of packaging these models, containerizing them, and deploying them in environments like AKS. Again, apps that are forwarded across to hundreds of thousands of consumers can now leverage the power of machine learning in a very scalable fashion using these architectures very seamlessly. Now, let's also talk about some of the capabilities for the prep and train layer so that you're able to grasp why certain services are required. When we talk about machine learning, it's essentially split into three distinct modules. The first being collecting and preparing the data over here. Now, what does this actually mean? Collecting and preparing data essentially means that you're able to tap into a multitude of data sources and bring data to be able to put them together for machine learning and analysis further down the line. Now, mind you, this might sound trivial, but 70% of the time and effort spent on machine learning pipelines is actually spent on this particular stage itself. The second stage then becomes, now that you have this data, you want to design or develop sophisticated models which are customized to your business area. That is where training and evaluation comes into the picture as well. Once you've created these models and you've satisfied with the accuracy and the performance of these models, it's time for us to deploy these and operationalize these, but at the same time, be able to manage them. Because as a business, you would be creating hundreds, if not thousands, of models over the life cycle of a particular use case. How do you determine which one is the most optimal, and how are you able to revert to a particular version in case you see any kind of downgrade in performance or accuracy of subsequent revisions of these models? These are very important aspects and important for us to understand as well while you're designing and creating a machine learning solution. There are specific products that sit in those areas as well. We talked about collection and preparation of data. Azure Data Factory allows us to tap into 70+ data sources. Databricks helps us curate all of that data, irrespective of where it's coming from, whether it's structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. It's able to leverage the power of the Spark engine to be able to process this data and bring it to a capability and a scenario-specific data set that we can learn upon further on. When it comes to training and evaluating model, again, Databricks provides us the flexibility of the choice of language as well as the choice of tools and frameworks for us to be able to develop these models and iterate upon it until we are satisfied. Once it gets to operationalization and management, that's where the Azure Machine Learning Service comes in really handy in conjunction with Azure Databricks. Let's take a slightly deeper look into each of these phases as I talked about them. First, we're looking at the collection and preparation of all the data. So now, as I said, the first problem at hand is for us to be able to ingest the data. Azure Data Factory allows us to bring all of those data, be it on-prem, cloud, enterprise data sources, file stores, third-party cloud environments, anywhere and everywhere, and bring it in a state where Azure can now have all of this data to curate, process, and learn upon. Now, once this data is brought in, you need a storage environment that can store all of this data in a way such that it doesn't inhibit or it doesn't prohibit the actual machine learning curation process. That is where Azure Blob Storage or Azure Data Lake Storage comes into the picture. Now that you have all of those data, you can leverage the powerful engine in Azure Databricks to go ahead and curate and process this data as well. Once you have this data in a space where you are satisfied with the quality of it and you're satisfied with the standards and the granularity of it, you now want to go ahead and create a machine learning model. That is where, again, the notebooks environment in Azure Databricks really comes in handy. You can collaborate amongst a team, you can bring in other teams, you can go ahead and schedule, version control, all of that for your individual notebook environments and your models that you create within these notebooks. All of these models rely upon the scale-out clusters that is inherent to Azure Databricks as well. So, since it's a cluster-based service, it's based on Spark clusters. So now you're able to scale out the execution of these models that you've created so that you get faster value and faster time to insights, right? Now, once you've created these, you might also want to go ahead and leverage some kind of automated ML capabilities if you were not getting the right set of results, or if you wanted something to get started with initially as well. That is where automated machine learning comes into the picture. And Azure Machine Learning engulfs that, and the integration between Azure Databricks and Azure Machine Learning provides that insight very seamlessly. Once you have these models and you're satisfied with the accuracy, now you want to deploy these. This is where you can bring in these models, leverage Azure Machine Learning services to do model management, experimentation, and run history, and be able to see the performance over a period of time. You can also leverage Azure Machine Learning Services capabilities to package these and containerize these machine learning models, which is a sophisticated way of saying that you're putting a wrapper around them to be able to deploy to the choicest environment that you have, be it in the cloud in the form of Kubernetes cluster for low-cost scale-out scoring and inferencing, or be it in a container instance within Azure with ACI, so that you're able to tap into that and embed that into your custom applications. Or be it to the IoT edge devices like drones and cameras and such. Now, this is the power of the machine learning environment and the platform that Azure brings across. But this is about machine learning. What are companies looking to do next? As we understand from the research that we have access to from Gartner and other analysts, we see the next frontier as being deep learning. Deep learning is something that every organization which is higher up on the maturity cycle is investing very deeply into as we speak. With this same architecture, you can also bring deep learning models and leverage the same set of tools and capabilities, and your data science teams are able to build upon their existing skill sets alongside the machine learning capabilities. How does that happen? Of course, deep learning has certain frameworks which are very popular for achieving the ultimate objective. These frameworks range from TensorFlow to CNTK to PyTorch and Keras. All of these are very well integrated within Azure Databricks for you to be able to leverage them out of the box with the machine learning runtimes that are introduced within Azure Databricks. Once you have these created, you can either deploy them directly on the clusters themselves, or you can again leverage your environment to scale them out on batch AI with the help of Azure Machine Learning Services. That's where bringing together machine learning and deep learning and providing a comprehensive solution to customers really stands out for Microsoft. Azure Databricks for deep learning modeling caters towards requirements from a tools perspective, from a frameworks perspective, as well as from an infrastructure perspective. Now, as we talk about all of these capabilities, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time trying to understand where we are investing for the future as well. So there are certain capabilities that we are investing in enhancing some of the existing capabilities. Examples of those are providing Databricks remote support so that even outside the notebooks, our data scientists are able to leverage other popular IDEs for their choice of tools and for them to be able to comfortable in creating these machine learning pipelines. Again, MLflow for better DevOps. The Python SDK within the Azure Machine Learning service, which is now going to be embedded within most popular environments, and it can be extended from any environment such that it is on a Python-based protocol over there. Again, the machine learning managed compute capabilities, introducing new modules for FPGA scoring or inferencing capabilities. The more newer capabilities that we are introducing within the machine learning space on the Microsoft platform are a robust Onyx support, as we talked about earlier. The automated machine learning capabilities, as we saw and how it played into the machine learning pipeline, as well as IoT edge and in-database machine learning capabilities. And we continue to invest in simplifying the whole machine learning process for our customers to be able to concentrate on the problem at hand and not the underlying technology or the platform, because Azure is supposed to be that environment that our customers can rely upon and build their businesses upon. Now, in addition to the machine learning capabilities, I wanted to take a quick survey of our developer AI capabilities as well. The conversational AI capabilities over here around combining bot services and cognitive services to create intelligent agents and bots, which is, again, a very sophisticated environment for developers to tap into and very easily build and embed within applications, making them that much more intelligent and that much more interactive with consumers. Again, leveraging out-of-the-box AI tools and services like cognitive services and Azure Search and bot services to build all of these, and then leveraging the tools within Visual Studio for AI, and then bringing it to life with your applications for consumer-facing interactivity and intelligence. What is also important is the enterprise scenarios for AI. So what are these scenarios? Again, conversational agents where you want to create bots for your websites, for your apps. You want to create intelligence within your apps, or you want to have intelligent business processes over there as well. Here are some metrics on how these enterprise scenarios are impactful for the respective businesses as well. What is also important is that it is not only about businesses doing this, but it is also about partners doing this. And then being able to create AI-enabled devices around them as well, ranging from drones and smart kiosks all the way to creating smart factories and smart kitchens into smart cameras and voice-activated speakers. Our partners are doing wonderful things with our AI capabilities and building custom machine learning environments to cater to the requirements of these AI-enabled devices. That's not all. Microsoft's AI is also being used for a lot of good in the world, including for accessibility, for employment, for modern life management, for human connection, etc., around differently abled people, as well as around enabling newer ways to interact and approach business problems. The next thing that I want to concentrate on is the fact that data science is for every industry and every vertical. It is a common perception that machine learning and AI capabilities is essentially only for some advanced verticals which have specific problems to cater to, etc. I want to break that perception today, and I want to show you some of these use cases across verticals and show you how machine learning and AI is helping advance these businesses forward. Now, I'm going to take a few examples over here, but I want all of you to leverage that this is not something that is restricted to one particular business or one particular vertical or one particular horizontal or one particular business use case over here. It spans across the board. Let's start with financial services. As you see over here, ranging from customer analytics to financial modeling to risk threat detection to credit analysis to marketing analysis, all of these are machine learning use cases in some form. Similarly, for health and life sciences use cases. Now, I'm not going to go through these in details, but I would want you to leverage these use cases in discussions with prospective customers and partners and trying to make them understand how the machine learning and AI capabilities are implemented or utilized for their specific businesses as well. It is also applicable to media and entertainment. Retail, of course, one of the pioneering verticals for AI and machine learning. Advertising and marketing tech use cases, again, spanning across verticals and horizontals alike. Oil, gas, and energy use cases as well, for you to get better understanding of everything that's coming with it. And then, of course, streaming as a use case comes very importantly for all customers who want to implement anything related to intrusion detection, security intelligence, fraud detection, compliance reporting, or even data analytics security as a whole. The next thing I want to concentrate on are some of our unique differentiators as we build these solutions out. Microsoft has been a long investor and a researcher in AI, especially around vision, speech, and language capabilities. You can clearly see here that Microsoft has been the first to achieve some of the most innovative accolades in all of these spaces and has been able to leverage these capabilities to build upon and mature their existing offerings. In addition to all the accolades over there, we also have ongoing momentum with our customers and ecosystem. Million-plus devs using Azure's cognitive services capabilities. More than 300,000 devs creating bots. 60 languages being supported by something like PowerPoint for its Translator Live feature. And then 35 trillion docs being processed by machine reading, knowledge mining capabilities. Now, that's not an easy feat, and we need to understand that all of this is evidence of Microsoft's investment and prowess in this area. What is also interesting is our differentiated value proposition across the board on the AI platform. We talked about these capabilities when we understood the machine learning platform. We provide these capabilities for our customers to be able to differentiate amongst their competitors in what they build for their businesses as well. Right from agility with tools and services, to deployment modalities, to the language and framework choices, and ability for us to be able to provide industry-leading security, compliance, privacy, transparency, and most importantly, ethics around the AI capabilities. The most important thing again, it's all on Microsoft Azure. So it comes with the inherent capabilities of Azure as well. It's productive to accelerate time to market. It works across on-prem and your cloud infrastructures, so it's hybrid. And then it is intelligent because we are building this intelligence and leveraging these capabilities to make our products even more intelligent and approachable for our customers. And of course, it comes with the trust and compliance and SLA-driven confidence of Microsoft Azure. I also wanted to talk about a few of these companies that are leveraging the machine learning and AI capabilities. A few that come to mind are Devon Energy, Linux International, Shell, BT, Jabil. All of them across on-prem, edge, and the cloud are leveraging these machine learning capabilities to the fullest and reaping massive benefits for their own businesses. But that's not all. We as Microsoft understand that our customers need some help in building these solutions. They do not want to get into the business of building technical centers of excellence around these environments. And that's why we have a very rich partner network to accompany all of our capabilities and services that we offer so that they can help our customers build these solutions, be it from an ISV perspective to be able to subscribe to them, or be it from a system integration perspective to be able to create custom solutions for our customers. I hope I was able to give you a glimpse of the machine learning platform that we have on Azure. I wanted to thank you for listening to me for this particular session, and I hope now you're equipped to take all of these capabilities and help customers and partners build solutions around the machine learning and AI platform on Azure. Feel free to get back to us in case you need any clarifications or have any questions on aspects covered in this video. Thank you so much for your time, and until next time.